Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Technology Integration. My name is Dan, and in this episode, we are looking at classroomscreen.com. This is a great, very simple website that is great for using your interactive whiteboard, whether you have a Clevertouch or a Smartboard or one of the other types of interactive displays. This is a very simple website. There's actually no login required at all. You can just go in and start working and start teaching right from your browser. Just hook up your computer to your Smartboard, Clevertouch, whatever, just as normal, and you'll be able to do all these functions. This is totally web-based. You don't have to download anything. There's no sign-in. Just bookmark this website and you're good to go. So let me just take you through Classroom Screen real quick, and I'll just show you what it does. That'll be pretty much the whole video for today. So first thing is just to go to classroomscreen.com. I always recommend throwing a bookmark on there for it too. So to get started here, you can choose a language, but let's just start with this background button here. I should also mention that this whole big bar at the bottom here, these are just all of your options for Classroom Screen. So let's start with background. When I click on here, there's a bunch of like pre-made, nice looking pictures to start with. I'm going to start with just a solid whiteboard to kind of start things out nice and easy here. And of course, you can just change this whenever you want. And let's go into the next thing here. And we have a random name picker. So if you're ever wanting to have, if you're having trouble picking students, you could also think back to the old-fashioned popsicle stick method, where you have students' names on popsicle sticks in a cup, and you just pick and choose one. This is kind of like the digital version of that. You can just type in or just copy and paste all of your students' names into the box here, then just tell it to choose, and it'll give you one of the students' names. There is also a dice roll, so you can choose one, two, or three dice, and just give them a roll, and they'll just choose as many dice. They'll just kind of keep spinning out the dice for you, and you can move these things around by clicking on the little crosshair up at the top right of the item. You can just move around wherever you need it to go. And to get rid of these pop-ups, just click on the option at the bottom again. So you have the choice of clicking the red X to get rid of it, or you can click the little +1 to add another one on top. So I'm just going to get rid of this here. Let's get rid of everything. Next thing on our toolbar here is the sound level. This is really good for classroom management. I'm not going to turn on my microphone since I'm actually using it right now for this video. But what this does is it will use your computer's microphone to measure the noise level in your class. It'll come up with a little bar that you can set and say, all right, students, I don't want you to go above this noise level. It's a way to, it's a nice little built-in classroom management tool in there. All right. Next thing is a QR code. This thing, if you want to share this classroom screen out to your students or somebody else, you can have this big old QR code shown here, and then students could use their devices with the QR code. They just come up to the screen with their device, scan the QR code, and it would take them to the classroom screen. All right. Next thing here is our drawing. This is probably the thing you'll use most often. This is actually where you get your drawing tools in place here. So first thing is we can set how thick the line will be. So you can bump it up a little bit here and have some thicker lines. So like here's level 20, that's a 20 line. Or if we jump down to 5, and 5 is pretty thin compared to. And then you have all your different colors and everything. This little black circle is your eraser, so you can erase your stuff. Maybe make it a little bit thicker there. And you can just erase all your stuff here. And again, this would be I'm on a keyboard and mouse right now, so it's a little trickier to do. But if you were up at your interactive whiteboard, you'd be able just to use your finger, or if you have a stylus, you just erase all your stuff. The red X will delete everything on the whole screen. So if you have a bunch of stuff, let me just kind of fill it in here and write a bunch of stuff. If you hit that red X, it's going to completely get rid of everything. All right. This white button will change your whiteboard color just to white or black. So if you want to do a blackboard or whiteboard, this one with the red line next to it, that one will get rid of if you have a background on there. This one will set up some graph paper, so especially good for math teachers. There's another one that has kind of some extra grids and things like that. There's another one that has looks like notebook papers. That's good if you're teaching like handwriting, or if you're doing spelling tests or something like that. That would also be good. Now, next thing on our line here is this mini drawing tool. It's the exact same thing we just saw down in this one. It's just a smaller version that you're able to move around the screen. So if you don't need the entire screen, or if you're trying to draw like kind of like separate things, that's just another way to do it. Next thing is our text boxes. So you can just throw in a text box here. So if you have a bunch of information, like maybe in like a Google Doc or something, you could just copy and paste it and throw it all right in here. So if you're trying to do like if you want to use this as a giving out notes, you can do that too. All right. Next thing is our work symbols. So again, good for classroom management stuff. So if I want total silence, there we go. Or if you can whisper, you can ask a neighbor, or you can work together. So again, just kind of good classroom management stuff that's built in here. Next thing is our traffic light, which is a kind of another fun thing. So you can, red is quiet time, is whispering or talking with a neighbor. Green is working with groups or something like that. However you want to set that up. Second to last is our timer. So again, if you are doing some group work or something like that, you can have your students tell your students rather, all right, you have 5 minutes to work on this. Start your timer, and it'll just kind of start rolling there. It has a little built-in little sand dial, whatever those things are called. And you can have a stopwatch, have it be stopwatch, or the sand dial too. All right. And again, just to get rid of stuff, you click at the bottom there. Then our last thing is a good old-fashioned clock. It has a clock and calendar built in there together. Again, good stuff for kind of starting out your day. You can kind of use this at any point in your lesson. So you can use it for a bell ringer, for bell work. You can use it for the main the activity of the class, or to wrap up your class too. And speaking of wrapping up your class, you'll notice there's a couple extra buttons way out here in the bottom right corner, and this little red and green one. If you give that a click, this is a built-in exit poll. So imagine doing this. You could change. You can change this to say whatever. I'll just leave it as what did you think of today's lesson? And as students are leaving the room, or as if they're breaking for recess or whatever, you can have students come up and poke the emoji of how they feel so far. So far, you can have students kind of coming up and they're just basically voting on how they're feeling. All right, and then after everybody leaves, you can take a second and go back and look at your results, and you can just kind of reset it as you need it, and you can kind of just keep on using it over and over again just to get a real quick reminder. You can also do it. You can change how many points you get up in the top left here. So if you just want basically yes or no, happy face, frowny face, or just kind of in the middle there, there's a bunch of different ones you can kind of play with. And it's a really fun and helpful tool there. Right. And then this last button here, if you give that a click, that'll just hide the toolbar for you. And then this very bottom right button, that'll make it go full screen so you don't have your extra bits from your browser showing up on the screen. So if you want to maximize your space, that's how you would do it. All right. Well, thanks so much for watching. Hopefully this was helpful for you guys. Stay tuned for the next video. Thank you.